happens when the world watches a genocide unfold in real time and still looks away? That's what's happening right now in Sudan's Darfur region, where the city of Fasher has fallen to the Rapid Support Forces, a brutal militia whose crimes are so horrifying that bloodstains from their massacres can literally be seen from space.
The RSF was clearly keen to take Fasher, I think, for numerous reasons. One of those reasons is definitely that it improves their military position in Sudan, which also improves their negotiating position in any peace talks. But I think the focus on Fasher was for a number of strategic reasons, including the political leverage it would give them. So yes, because they now would control more of Sudan, it will probably increase their confidence at the negotiating table and harden their demands at the negotiating table.
Fasher was the Sudanese military's last stronghold in Darfur. For months, it was besieged by the RSF, which blocked food, water and medicine, starving hundreds of thousands trapped inside. When the city finally fell last week, the RSF began what witnesses describe as an orgy of killing. Nearly 500 people were slaughtered inside one maternity hospital alone, including patients, families and children. Satellite images show blood-red soil where the killings took place.
Fasher was really the last pocket that was complicating a broader split that was RSF controlling most of Western Sudan and the army and the Port Sudan government controlling most of Central Sudan and Eastern Sudan. And this battle had been going on for over a year. It was the last army stronghold in Darfur, and now RSF controls they already controlled most of Darfur, but now the last army stronghold has been pushed out. There are other groups there, some against the RSF, some neutral, some with the RSF. But the army now effectively only controls areas further to the east in the country.
The RSF isn't some ragtag militia. It's a war machine born from the infamous Janjaweed, the death squads that carried out Darfur's genocide 20 years ago. But today, they are even deadlier, armed with drones, machine gun trucks, and foreign funding. Their motto? No mercy. Videos show commanders telling civilians exactly that before shooting them. To understand how Sudan reached this point, rewind to 2019, when a popular revolution toppled longtime dictator Omar al-Bashir. In the chaos that followed, the Sudanese armed forces and the RSF ruled together in a fragile power-sharing deal, until they turned on each other in April 2023. What followed wasn't a civil war. It was a fight between two heavily armed armies with deep pockets and foreign backers. Since then, more than 150,000 people have been killed and millions displaced. The RSF has used Darfur as its killing ground, ethnically targeting non-Arab communities, the same pattern of slaughter seen in the early 2000s. Just months ago, RSF fighters stormed Sudan's largest displacement camp and massacred hundreds along ethnic lines.
Tens of thousands have left Fasher, have fled. But there are many tens of thousands more that we assume are still in Fasher and have no access to food, water, or medical assistance that they need very urgently. You have to bear in mind that most of the health system in Sudan has collapsed, and definitely not in Darfur. So whilst people are being wounded, there's no means to treat them.
And behind this carnage lurks a powerful enabler, the United Arab Emirates. The RSF fought in Yemen as a UAE proxy, and now, according to multiple reports, Abu Dhabi is flooding the group with money, weapons and drones. The UAE gets cheap Sudanese gold and a strategic foothold in Africa. It's blood for business. Western powers, including the UK and US, know this, and yet they stay silent. Reports say British officials even try to stop African diplomats from criticizing the UAE's role. Meanwhile, British-made weapons have been spotted on RSF battlefields. The world calls Sudan's war a forgotten conflict, but it's not forgotten. It's ignored. The horror is happening in broad daylight, visible from satellites and phones, with evidence piling up by the hour. The question now isn't whether the world knows, it's whether anyone still cares. Because right now, in Fasher, A city once full of life is being turned into a graveyard. The blood-soaked soil of Sudan is a reminder that when geopolitics trumps humanity, entire nations can bleed out, and no one moves to stop it. With Farhan Khan, Bureau Report, India Today Global.